Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you could be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that had uncontrollable twitching. Some people call them spasms. This can happen for many different reasons. Sometimes it's lack of sleep, sometimes it can be excess caffeine. Stress and anxiety do have a role to play in these kind of twitches. And twitching can take place in any part of the body. Typically, it's where you've got kind of the fast muscle fibers, the twitch fibers. And what can happen is that if it's in a leg or an arm or a finger, it doesn't really make too much difference. When it becomes in a very visible place, and there are lots of muscle fibers in the face, because the face is the most expressive part of the body, it becomes noticeable. And that can lead to feelings of self-consciousness, and that could in turn knock confidence. The client that I was working with was a younger person that the twitching started in a period where there were two bereavements of, let's just call it things, that people or an animal, a pet that were really important to them. And then the twitching started there, and it was kind of on and off, but it'd been getting worse. This session does a few things. It's worth explaining, particularly because I know there's a few hypnotherapists that listen. The induction links to a place before the twitching started. I asked them to recall a place where they felt relaxed, and they could remember a forest, they could remember a beach with a hammock, where they definitely weren't twitching in those moments. So that's a crucial part of the induction. Also, there is an analogy here. What I found is that a lot of unconscious responses normally have some kind of a message. And if you think of pain quite often is a message to either seek help, or it's a message to leave the area alone so it could heal. But twitching is the communication equivalent of Morse code. And there's a reason that very, very few people on the planet know Morse code or can communicate with Morse code, because it's a very slow, complicated communication tool. So this metaphor of twitching being a little bit like Morse code, in the sense that it's difficult to decipher, leads to the key suggestion that the twitching is no longer needed, and that if there is a message that needs to be communicated from the unconscious, better to do that through encouraging inner dialogue. And I do emphasize encouraging, because a lot of people live with critical, harsh, almost abusive inner dialogue. They wouldn't tolerate that from a real person, but they tolerate it inside their own mind. And that's also not helpful. So the goal here is to reduce the twitching or provide a different outlet for the twitching. And if you can communicate in language rather than through twitching, well, then that could lead to better decisions and better changes anyway. This may be useful for anyone that has kind of unconscious twitches of any kind. It could be, eyelids, even spasms around the jaw, the cheeks, forehead, things like that may be helpful, but it was created for a very specific client. So if you feel that you would benefit from hypnosis in a more bespoke, customized way to you and your circumstances, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a completely free 30-minute consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, breathe in a slow, resourceful breath. And as you breathe out, that's it, just close your eyes and focus on the sound of my voice. Breathing in a slow, deep breath. With your eyes closed, releasing any feeling of tension or stress in that outward breath. Position your body in a way where you can really feel comfortable. And focus your attention on the sound of my voice. And notice how difficult it is to focus on anything more than 3 or 4 things at exactly the same time. Because you could try to focus on my voice, plus your breathing, plus the temperature in the room. Plus the sound of your heartbeat, or how your body feels in its current position, as you realize you can only focus on so many things at the same time. So right now, focus on breathing in deeply and exhaling slowly. It's natural to breathe in from the chest, but I want you to activate the lower part of your lungs. So when you breathe in, take 2 or 3 breaths in before you breathe out, really filling your lungs. And as you exhale, just imagine breathing out 2 or 3 times before you breathe in again. 2 or 3 breaths in and 2 or 3 breaths out, as you realize you can breathe twice as deeply as you were before. The deeper you breathe, the more you are releasing any trapped stress or worries or tension in your body. And I want you to create an image in your mind of a coiled spring. Maybe a spring that used to be connected to a mattress, or perhaps some other tool. That if the spring was coiled, all it would take is a tiny moment or motion And all of that energy in the spring would then explode in a second. And I want you to get a sense that any twitches, any spasms are simply because there is potential energy trapped. But if that potential energy is dissipated, diluted, or just melted away, how can there be a twitch or a spasm if there is no energy left? I want you to create an image now in your mind of a mousetrap. An old-fashioned mousetrap that is spring-loaded. When the mousetrap is set, all it would take is a tiny amount of weight and it would spring shut. But I want you to create an idea in your mind, perhaps a question. Can the mousetrap spring shut when it's already shut? I want you to scan your body for any clues of tension. And just imagine all that tension is melting away. Focus first on your eyelids. Just allow any tension to feel like an ice cube in the sunshine melting away. Whatever tension is being held onto can be released. That's it. Feel with every yawn or every idea of a yawn, you are releasing trapped tension. And the more it goes, the less tension can be used as potential energy to create a twitch. Feeling it all melt away. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. As you imagine your head being like a helium balloon on a string, feeling light, floaty, requiring no muscles in your neck or shoulders, as your head can just feel so relaxed. And the deeper relaxed you become, the more your imagination awakens. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a birch forest by the sea. I want you to imagine how it would feel to be walking through that birch forest. Maybe there's sunshine breaking through the branches. Maybe you can imagine a sunny day, warm weather. Maybe there's a smell to those birch trees, a coolness in the shade. As you imagine walking through the birch forest, I want you to see that there is a tree branch that is bent around another tree. And I want you to imagine that you are releasing that tree branch so that stored energy is released. And when the tree branch can no longer spring, I want you to feel a sense of relaxation, particularly in the muscles in your face. That's it. And use the power of your imagination to walk through the birch forest, where the forest meets the sea is a beach of white sand. And I want you to see a hammock, perhaps between two trees. And imagine how you would feel to climb into the hammock, listening to the gentle breaking of the waves by the shore, as you give permission to yourself to completely relax, as your mind remembers a time to be stress-free. That's it, calm and relaxed. I'm going to count downwards from 10 to 1, and with each descending number, you will feel 10% deeper and deeper relaxed. Each time you breathe in, I want you to tense muscles around that area. And then as you breathe out, just release all tension on the outward breath. So let's start with your hands. 10, just clench your fists as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just release all of the tension in your hands, feeling it moving upwards your arms. That's it. Arms feeling limp, loose and heavy. 9, just focus now on the tiny muscles around your forehead, eyebrows and eyes. Tense all of the muscles as you breathe in around your forehead and eyes. Tense them all. And then as you breathe out, just release all of the tension around your eyelids, eyebrows and forehead. That's it. 8. As you breathe in, tense all of the muscles around your jaw. Clench your teeth. Make it all tense there around your jaw and your mouth. Hold on to that tension. And as you breathe out, just release all of the tension in your mouth. Jaw feeling loose and relaxed. And now, 7, just tense all of the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Breathing in, feeling tense neck and shoulders. And as you breathe out, that's it, just release all of that tension away. That's it. That's it. And now 7 becomes 6, and I want you to tense all of the muscles, your arms, your forehands, your fingers, no longer clenched but out straight. Clench everything. Make it all tense, breathing in. And as you breathe out, just completely release all of the tension in your arms. So much so that your arms feel like the limbs of a puppet with no strings. That's it. And then 5, just imagine that you can tense your abdominals, your chest, everything connected to your torso. Tense everything as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just release that tension. Noticing how much more relaxed you are than you were before. 5 becomes 4, and then tense the muscles in your legs. That's it. Front and back, tense the muscles, breathing in. And as you breathe out, just release any tension in your legs. And then try the same thing. 3, as you now focus on your calf muscles, your lower legs. Maybe your feet as well, breathing in, tensing your feet, muscles in your toes, your calf muscles, and then as you breathe out, that's it. Just release that tension. That's it. And then 2, focus on tensing every muscle in your body. your jaw, your eyelids. That's it, your neck, your shoulders, your hands, your arms, your feet, everything. Breathing in, and then as you breathe out, just release it all. That's it. Deeper and deeper relaxed, and then just one. Breathing in with no tension at all. Feeling relaxed as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just imagine how you would feel if you fell into a deep, dreamlike sleep there on that hammock by the beach near a birch forest. And imagine in that dream you were walking down a spiral staircase into a room, going down the spiral staircase 5 and then 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1 into a room that we can call your subconscious mind. As your mind becomes open to new ways of thinking, as you relax deeper, feel any tension in your eyelid melt away, not just now, but in the past and the future too, replaced by a sense of calm and peace. With each breath, you release any stress and tension, allowing your eyelid to rest and relax completely, because your mind and body are in perfect harmony, and any unnecessary twitches just fade away now. As you imagine a warm wave of relaxation washing over your face, soothing every muscle and eliminating any twitching, as you acknowledged that it just isn't needed anymore. You have a feeling of self-control, and your subconscious mind finds new ways to communicate. Twitching is just like Morse code. It belongs in your past now, not your future. And I wonder if your subconscious mind could utilize encouraging inner dialogue instead of muscle twitches to better steer your future in a positive direction. Feel the calmness spreading from your eyelid to the rest of your body, releasing all stress and all tension. Both eyelids relax completely, understanding that twitching is no longer needed for communication. Feel a sense of release and relief as you start to think of a future where you see yourself like you're someone else, with no twitching, looking confident, calm and relaxed. And every time you feel calm and relaxed, your eyelid remains still and comfortable, because your subconscious mind now understands that encouraging inner dialogue is a better way to express ideas and concerns. And if your unconscious mind is happy to communicate in new and more useful ways, let me know by nodding your head. Just releasing any tension. Your unconscious mind wants the best for you. And as you sink deeper into relaxation, feel your eyelid wanting to become completely calm and still, blinking when necessary, but that's all it needs to do. And each and every time you exhale, just imagine releasing any stress that causes your eyelid to twitch, but it now leaves your body in your outward breath, meaning there is no more stored energy in your eye to twitch anymore. That's it, it's all gone. Your body and mind are aligned, and your eyelid relaxes as you feel more at ease. Trust that your inner mind will now use words and thoughts to communicate, rather than the Morse code of muscle twitches that was confusing anyway. Feel a soothing sensation, almost like a warm cloth over your eyelid, calming it entirely. Because your eyelid is a signal of relaxation now, but it remains still as you stay calm and peaceful. And if you're stressed or in conflict, inner dialogue will be the way in which your unconscious mind communicates with you, giving you access to your intuition with no need of any twitches or spasms. Allow your mind to find clarity and peace, accepting that twitching is just no longer necessary. Take a deep breath in, and as you release that breath, every muscle in your face relaxes, especially your eyelids, which feels completely at ease. Your subconscious mind now has a desire to speak with you through inner dialogue that is warm, encouraging, and positive. And your eyelid can stay calm and relaxed, no longer a communication channel. You feel relaxed in every outward breath as you embrace the feeling of tranquility, knowing that your eyelid is free from twitching and full of calm energy. I want you to imagine what it would be like the next few days with the absence of twitching. What would it be like to fall asleep with just relaxed eyelids? To wake up and realize that it's been minutes, hours, perhaps even longer without any twitching. That even if there's stressful moments, imagine how it would feel to be in those moments with a complete absence of twitching. And if your unconscious can imagine a future like that, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to accept this is more than just a possibility. That the more you relax and release tension, the more that a probability becomes inevitable. And I don't know if it will be minutes, hours, days, or weeks until you find a time that you stop thinking about your eyelids entirely. That it goes back to how you used to feel, completely ambivalent, just like the background ticking of a clock in a room. There, but almost unnoticeable. It's time to climb up that spiral staircase, back, there into that hammock. And imagine leaving that hammock and walking through the birch forest, all the way back to the present moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect fully with the present moment, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, optimistic, completely relaxed, looking forward to a new harmonious relationship between body and mind, starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.